Hi there, welcome to another video. I know it's been a while, it's been a very long time since I've uploaded on this channel. Um, but I've got something to show you. I've got this cool little paint by numbers kit that I got at Michael's, and it is, Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament. I don't know how I feel about the Houses of Parliament, but it was kind of cool. I'm a little bit obsessed with Christmas in London, and I'll tell you more about that later. But yeah, let's get started and let's get into this kit. So this kit comes with basically everything you would need except water and a paper towel and a surface to work on. You can just start, and there's a canvas, there's stretcher bars for making the painting, there's paint, brushes, um, guide to do it. There was also like a guide for how to paint this more efficiently, which seems kind of goofy to me. Like, I'm just here to enjoy the actual picture. I don't need to do it efficiently. I'm not at work. And instructions for doing the stretcher bars, and then you get another guide painting in case you like screw up or whatever. But literally, it's a paint by numbers. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just taping this down because it's kind of rolly on the surface because it's being rolled up. And I do apologize. You can hear one of my cats meowing in the background. He's very interested in what's going on the other side of the front door. I'd done a paint by numbers of that raccoon picture you just saw when I was at Gen Con. And so I'm not really a gamer. I went to Gen Con because my partner wanted to go to Gen Con. And he has got lots of friends who go every year and who are actually developing games. And he's a big gamer. He's really into Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. But Gen Con is so big that they have set up several auxiliary events for all of the WAGs, and I'm definitely one of the WAGs. So I went to film festival. I did play a couple of board games, and I did a paint by numbers, and I kind of thought paint by numbers was really cool, so I decided to try it again with this one. But this is actually a lot harder than it looks. And you know what? That's okay. It won't turn out perfect. I do use both my hands when I'm painting, and I know when I use my right hand, you can't really see very well what's going on, but I just figured it would be good to use both hands and just so that you can see where I'm at. So I started with the lightest color first, and that is the pure white, which is a clock face and a couple of snowflakes and not a whole lot else. And then I moved in with like the beige for some of the brighter areas. It was kind of a peachy color. And it's really the only thing that makes it Christmassy in the end is the wreath and the big red bow on it, and everything else is just kind of whatever. So there's two reasons that I'm obsessed with Christmas in London. One, I've been watching a lot of this one soap opera called EastEnders for the past almost 5 years. I don't know, I got hooked on it like back in 2019, which I can't believe was 5 years ago. And it's this neighborhood in East London, and they always do the houses up for Christmas, and there's always maximum drama on the Christmas episode. And I feel kind of bad because one of my favorite hobbies is just binging 2 weeks worth and then telling my partner all about the past 2 weeks of EastEnders. It's not. So I think he knows as much about the show as I do at this point, and he'll sit and watch it with me. But the other reason is that last year when we were traveling to India, we had an extended layover in England. And our first stop was Canterbury to visit one of his friends from college and his friend's family. And Canterbury was beautiful. We stayed in this old bed and breakfast that was so cool and actually not haunted, but it was a really offbeat place and it was close to the train station. And we got to see the town of Canterbury. We got to see the cathedral. We got to go into the cathedral, but we couldn't stay because there was some sort of private event going on. And it was such a wonderful opportunity, and it was so nice to meet this one friend and his family, and it was just a really cool time. And then on the way back, we did do London. We went on a bus tour, and I don't know, something about my guy and being the passenger in moving vehicles. He falls asleep. And we were also tired, and he had eaten a bunch of food before we took this bus tour, and eating a bunch of food makes you sleepy too. But we took a bus tour. It wasn't super informative, but we had internet on our phones because we downloaded eSIM, so I was able to follow along with the major landmarks by just looking at the map and looking at the locations on my phone. And we did that. That was really cool. We didn't actually get to this part of London on the bus tour. We had to hop off so that we could catch the, what do they call it? The tube. They call it the tube. We got to ride the tube in London. It was so cool. Um, we had to catch the tube back to King's Cross where our luggage was at, and then catch the tube again to Heathrow. And we were a little bit pressed for time, but like even when we landed at Heathrow from Chicago, I was so excited. Um, our initial flight had gotten canceled, so we had to wait until the next morning to fly out, and of course then we missed like 12 hours that we could have been sightseeing and having a time. But by the time we landed in London, it was midnight. We had to make arrangements with the B&B because we were going to have such a late arrival, and I had to change our train tickets as well, which was a real pain. And because I wasn't confident that the tube would get us to the train station in time for the last train out to Canterbury, I opted to get a black cab. And that was really cool. I've taken black cabs before. They have them in Dundee as well. So when I lived in Dundee and we had a night out, we would take black cabs to get home. But I'd never taken one in London, and I was awestruck, even just being on the motorway going from the airport to St. Pancras Station. I was like, this is so cool. Oh my God. And it was, and everything was lit up. And then we went to Canterbury, and then we came back to London for a day, and we did that bus tour, and we got to see the Tower of London, and the bridge, and the Eye, and the Gherkin, and the Shard, and we got to see the Globe Theatre, and it was all lit up, and it was a really cool time, and I hope I get to go back someday soon. I know one of my coworkers is going out there, and I'm so jealous, honestly. But just doing more work on this painting. And the trip to India was really cool too. Yeah, I don't know what to say about India. Like the first time we went, we stayed in Nancy's house, which was really nice, but it was in this like, gated community, and I don't speak a word of Gujarati. Like I know Kemcho, and that's literally all I know. So like there'd be a guard at the gate, and I was like not sure if he spoke English, so we couldn't really go in and out freely. But it was nice to stay at our house. The second time we went to India, we stayed at a hotel, and like there's benefits to the house and there's benefits to the hotel. One of the benefits of the hotel is that you can move about a bit more freely. And both times we traveled to India, it was for cousins' weddings, so that occupied the most of our time. The scariest thing to me when we traveled the second time was trying to walk a half mile from the hotel to the grocery store because traffic is so heavy. It's just not set up for pedestrians. And we took a rickshaw back, which was the smartest thing to do. We also were carrying a lot of stuff at that point from what we got at the grocery store. And there was some artisan market in Ahmedabad that we went to. We went there twice, I think. And it was really cool. We went to the mall, which was, it's a mall. They're the same everywhere. It was a very well kept shopping mall. I would say that the shopping malls in India, like the really big fancy ones, are much better kept than the ones in the US. Like they actually care about public spaces, especially public spaces are bringing commerce and tourists into the country. And we didn't really do a lot of tourist stuff. The first time we went to the Statue of Unity, which was cool. And these were two trips that we took to India within like 10 months of each other. So it was kind of a whirlwind. And it was really nice to visit his family again because it's always nice to visit. So, yeah, that was a good time as well. And I do have pictures and videos. I just have to figure out how to make them into a proper travel vlog for this. So, I'm just filling in the wreath now, and I really liked the green paint that came with the wreath. I don't know why, but I like wreaths. Christmas time is so wild to me because I work at a greenhouse. We get our poinsettia starts in July, and I start paying deposits for greens and stuff in springtime. So, like, I always know Christmas is coming. It's just the time seems way expanded to me. And then when the actual holiday hits, like, I'm recording this voiceover on the 21st of December, I'm like, I don't have everything done. And that's kind of scary to me, honestly. So it is a bit of a whirlwind. The last couple months have been really busy, and I'm honestly not feeling super festive. I'm trying real hard to get into the festive spirit, but I'm just not feeling it this year. I put up a couple of my decorations. I put the tree up. Thankfully, Bruce hasn't been destroying it. We were kind of worried when we put the tree up because we've got a kitten now. And we were worried what the kitten would do because our older cat he doesn't really mess with that much. He's got some manners, but the kitten gets into everything. So I put the tree up, but there's no ornaments on it. Um, I put the one nativity crèche that my grandfather built up, but I haven't put any of the others up. And I built a little village on the table on our back porch, which is a shared area. And I cut a bunch of snowflakes that I put on the windows as well. So I guess I did some things, and I just can't do everything. We have a busy season at work that really starts in late October and goes all the way through November. And the tail end of it is like the first week of December when the accounting department, which is what I'm a part of, we're doing our month end close for November. And it's a wild time. It's not a bad time, it's just a wild time and it really hits you hard. And I also had no car for part of it because my clutch needed to be replaced. And this whole year just feels different, like this whole Christmas season. But you know, we'll get through it. I hope we'll get through it. Planning on doing simple things for the next 4 days and just chilling out, just taking it easy as much as I can. And I hope you're able to do the same. So hard to get the detail for these buildings, but I'm really happy with the work that I've done here. I like how the lamppost came out, especially. I know, it's such a funny little detail in the picture, but once it's all filled in, you'll see. And I like how the paint by numbers sort of splits up the light into different groupings. I've started to paint the sky already, and I had to be very careful not to accidentally cover up those snowflakes. I think I did cover over a couple snowflakes. You know, these things just happen. It's a bunch of tiny details. It's my painting going on my wall, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But yeah, just trying my best to get into the Christmas spirit. There were so many things that I wanted to do, and I think the end of this year has just been kind of a whirlwind, and I have been trying to finish up my online course, which I've been really dragging on that. I've been working. My partner got really sick in early November, so I also got sick, but I wasn't as bad off as him, so I was going to work and then coming home and taking care of him. And, you know, what else? It's mostly just work, but you know what, we're doing okay now, or we will be. We're all gonna do okay at Christmas, and we're gonna sit and watch our favorite Christmas movies. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, please comment what your favorite Christmas movie is. We watched Batman Returns last night, and I think that's usurped Muppet Christmas Carol as my favorite, because it is a Christmas movie. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The main character is called the Penguin. Isn't that the most Christmassy thing? It's the very last. I saved this bet for the last, this beautiful red bow on the wreath. And that is that is all she wrote, I guess. I guess there was one little spot that I missed with color number 14 that I also wanted to touch up. And it is, sorry for this Blair Witch cam. That is the full project. And now I did the stretcher bar on the bottom side already in this video, so I'm just going to do the one in the top side. And you have to poke holes in the canvas in order to do this. I think if I'd gone in with a hobby knife, it would have been easier, but I just did it with the pins. And it comes with a pin, and then there's another little bracket on the other side that you pop into it. I'm really happy with how it came out, even if it's not perfect. And sometimes that's just how you have to be. You have to be like, it got done, and it's still okay. So I hope you all have a happy holiday, whatever you celebrate, or, even if it's just having a, federally paid holiday. I hope it's a day off that you get to relax. And if you haven't got the day off, I hope people are treating you well wherever you're at. And just finishing this up with the pins. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this little video that I've made. I'm trying to be festive. So you can see what it looks like in full now. I love it. I am personally 100% okay with how it came out. And that's what it looks like on my wall. So thank you so much for watching this video. And I will hopefully be uploading again more soon. And have a happy holiday. And, just be kind to yourself and to, whoever you meet. All right, thanks so much.